Year 2. This week we have added some new reading lessons to our home learning, as reading is a really important skill that you could be doing at home. The story we are going to share with you is called Tiddalik the Frog. It's a traditional tale from another culture. This is an Aboriginal story and it was from about 65,000 years ago, which is a very long time. We've split the story into two parts, so there are two lessons for you to have a go at this week. And the story will be read to you, but we are also going to put a copy of the text into our reading folder on the Google Drive. And that means you can have a look at it when you have a go at finding the answer to the questions that we set. Whilst the story is being told to you, we want you to think first of all about where you think the story is set. Now, the story is set in a desert, but we want to know which country it could be taking part in. And there are a few clues in the text itself for you to think about and look at. Some of the clues might be in the vocabulary that I'm about to share with you. So here are some of the words that we might come across in this story that we need to know to be able to understand it really well. Now you can see there's lots of animals that are featured in our story today. We've got a frog, we've got a kookaburra, which is a type of bird. We have a dingo, we have a wombat, we have a kangaroo, we have a snake, we have an emu, and we have a koala. And then there are some other words that we also need to understand. We've got invitation, which can also be an invite, which I'm sure you've had to parties. We've got a billabong, which is a type of a lake. And we have rushes, which are plants that grow near lakes because they like the wet conditions. So we're going to have a listen to the story first of all. So remember to have a think about where you think the story could be set, in which country it takes place in.
Long, long ago, during the dream time, there lived a very large frog called Tiddalik. Tiddalik lived in the rushes by the stream. He was always hungry and always thirsty. And because he was always hungry and thirsty, he was always grumpy too. What an appetite Tiddalik had. He would gobble up all the flies before the other frogs had a chance. He didn't care if they went hungry. All he cared about was himself. It was the hottest time of the year. The sun beat down on the dry, dusty land, and the frogs were all thirsty. But they weren't the only ones who needed to drink. So did all the other animals. Kookaburra lived in a tree nearby. "Let's go to the stream to drink," he said to the other birds. What a welcome sight the stream was. And the birds were just about to drink when Tiddalik arrived. "Out of my way, I'm thirsty," he croaked. Tiddalik pushed the birds aside and opened his enormous mouth. He drank and drank and drank. He was drinking all the water in the stream. Down went the water, down, down, until all that was left was mud. The water inside Tiddalik's tummy swished and rumbled. "That's better. Now, all I need is a little rest." The giant frog slept, while the birds and other animals gathered round Kookaburra. "There's no water left for us to drink. What can we do?" they cried. Kookaburra didn't know either. "I know somewhere we can go for water." It was Kangaroo. "Follow me." The animals and birds followed Kangaroo as she hippity-hopped across the land. Before long, a wide flowing river appeared, and the thirsty animals lowered their heads, ready to drink, when they heard a sound. It was Tiddalik, his giant water-filled belly swishing and rumbling. "Out of my way, I am still thirsty," he croaked. Then he opened his mouth and drank and drank and drank. He was drinking all the water in the river. Down went the water, down, down, until all that was left was mud. Tiddalik had drunk so much water, he was as big as a bush. And the water inside his tummy swished and rumbled louder than ever. That's better, he yawned. Now, all I need is a little rest. The giant frog slept, while the birds and other animals gathered round Kangaroo. There's no water left for us to drink. What can we do? They cried. Kangaroo didn't know either. There's one more place we can go for water. It was Koala Bear. Follow me. The animals and birds followed Koala as he padded across the hot, dusty landscape until Koala Bear stopped at the billabong. The animals gathered at the pool of water and were just about to drink when they heard a familiar sound. It was Tiddalik again, his giant belly swishing and rumbling. Out of my way. I am still thirsty. Then he opened his mouth and drank and drank and drank. He was drinking all the water in the billabong. Down went the water, down, down, until all that was left was mud. Tiddalik had drunk so much water he was as big as a gum tree. And the water inside his tummy swished and rumbled louder than ever. That's better, he yawned. Now, all I need is a little rest. The giant frog slept, while the poor thirsty animals worried. There's no more water to drink in the entire land, they cried. What are we going to do?
I hope you enjoyed the first part of the story, and I wonder if you could work out where it was set from the clues that were in it. Now we've got a question that we would like you to have a go at for your task. We would like you to think about how you would describe Tiddalik the frog. What sort of character do you think he is? Is he kind? Is he selfish? Is he horrible? Is he caring? To answer the question, you could draw a picture of Tiddalik and then annotate it or label it with words that you would use to describe him. Or you could have a go at writing a few sentences. Now remember, in our Google Drive folder there is a copy of the text, as you will probably need this to be able to work out what sort of character he is. Some words you might be able to magpie from the text too. At the end of the story, we were left with a bit of a question. We don't know what's going to happen. What will all the animals do now that they don't have any water because Tiddalik has drunk it all? What do you think could happen? Have a think. Now, next lesson, we will think about the answers that you have come up with to the questions, and we will read the second half of the story. We really want to see the work that you produce and the tasks that you create, so remember to send any work you do to us on our Year 2 email address, y2@harrisonprimaryschool.co.uk. Have fun completing the tasks!